What's up, guys? Well, we are closing out opening day here in West Virginia, and I'm actually out here on the peach farm trying to see if I can't put a couple to roost. Don't have an exact game plan for tomorrow because a lot of it is weather dependent and depending on this wind, which has not laid down yet. It's kind of picked up throughout the morning, fell off midday, and it's starting to pick up again. So the plan is hopefully we can put one to bed out here tonight, and we might be back up in here in this clover plot in the morning. Just went out there, changed the batteries in that Multra camera. We've had birds in this plot pretty consistently for the last 3 weeks to a month. I'll flash some of the videos there. 4 and 5 birds strutting, birds by themselves in there strutting, hens coming in. So that's a pretty good hot spot, but I really don't like how strong this wind is gusting up here on this ridge top. So if the wind's real bad, we'll call a rendezvous and head back to where we were this morning, which gets me to my point about this morning's hunting opening day. So unfortunately we didn't come away with a bird over the shoulder, but we did have some awesome encounters and we were able to beat the wind a little bit. So we started off up on top where I'd scouted the Thursday before season and heard 10 different birds. So I knew I wanted to be up there depending on the weather, and unfortunately the wind was a lot stronger than I thought it was. I would say we were having north of 30-mile-an-hour gusts, maybe even more, and you can see when I flash some of the footage just how bad it was shaking the camera. So caught an audible on that, headed back down into some green grassy bottoms that got some clover planted in them that we knew birds like to hang out in, especially when it's windy like that. And set up, did some blind call, and we actually got a couple birds to fire off. Made a big loop on them and got set up in this field. We actually bumped them. Well, Dad came up out of the creek bottom, bumped one bird, which he thought was a longbeard, that kind of ran up into a cedar thicket. So we just hurried and hightailed it through a little low gap and got set up on top of the field in a little grove. And we're just hoping we could either catch that bird coming out of that cedar thicket, or he wasn't spooked enough to where maybe we could get him to come try to play the game a little bit. So we were set up for maybe 5 minutes and he gobbled back at us. 2 of them, Cam. 2 of them. Don't move. Nobody move. The one strutting. Whole flock of them. Don't move, Kate. Don't move. Those hens are going to bring them to us, Cam. These birds are out in the field coming. Birds are out in the field coming. Two strutters. Hell yeah. They want to come so bad. And you can see on the footage, they pop out right there, and it's 2 strutters and 2 hens. And they came out not nervous, but you could tell they really weren't super excited to come in. It was a long way. When I kind of zoom out on the camera, you'll see they were probably 150 yards out when they were on the edge of that field. But the 2 hens started to work our way, and so it got me excited, thinking maybe if they'll come in, they'll bring them longbeards with them. Well, the hens came probably, I don't know, 50 to 75 yards out of that wood line, and they hung up. Unfortunately, the 2 longbeards hung up right there on the field edge. Never would commit. We called them, probably had a 10-minute long standoff, them strutting and gobbling, and then they worked back off in the same cedar thicket that we bumped them into. So I crawled out, grabbed that Mojo strutter decoy, and haul-tailed it back to the same field we bumped them out of, hoping that maybe we'd catch them coming back out of the bottom. But I don't know if they were just so nervous, if the wind was whipping and kept them in that thicket, or if we just bumped them on the move back down. But ended up not getting back on those birds, so we decided to leave those birds alone. The wind was still pretty strong, and we knew there was basically no point going back up on top and trying to get on one, just how windy it was. So we ended up going around the front side of the different farm and actually bumped 2 hens off a food plot. And after that, again, the wind was still whipping, so we decided to back out and live to fight another day. So like I said, that brings us to right now, trying to put a couple birds to bed. So hopefully we'll have some action tonight, kind of give us a game plan, but it's all weather dependent. And if this wind doesn't lay down, we'll probably be back out in them green fields that we were in yesterday. And we heard a 3rd bird gobbling. Couldn't get it on footage because he was so far away, but there was a 3rd bird gobbling that we never even tried to get on. So we know there's birds over there. So hopefully Mother Nature will be on our side and push this wind out, because it makes it hard to hear birds, and it makes it hard for them to hear you as well. So wind is no fun during turkey hunting. But we still got probably 30 minutes till the end of daylight right here, and probably longer than that. But we're gonna set up, hit a hoot owl call, see if we can't gobble or get one to gobble. And actually yesterday we came out here to roost one. We had one gobble right here below the barn, so that's a place they usually like to roost. So see if we can't get one to gobble again.